We'll do roll call.
Scott Kutcher.
Cindy Cash.
Chris Madrid.
Pat Kelly.
Jamie Hodges.
Agul Rios. Joe Trujillo.
Okay, we'll move on. A moment of silence, everybody, please. Okay, everybody stand for pledge allegiance.
Pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're gonna move along to item 5, discuss, consider, and act to approve the consent items and the December financials.
I move that we approve the meeting minutes for December the 9th and the December financials.
I'll say it. Chris, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries. Moving on to 6, presentation and comments by the public. Oh, we got Andrew. Where are you at? There you are.
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone. At a recent meeting, there was a proposal made to change the format of this meeting to add a Q&A at the end of each topic. I was wondering where we stand on that. I thought it was a great idea, and I would support changing the structure, and wonder if anyone else would support that.
Well, it was actually, they want to change it, the ordinance that you can't ask any questions once discussion is started and you know what the topic's about. You have to ask beforehand.
Yes.
And there's no time after discussion for you to ask anything anymore.
I think it would be more productive to add the Q&A after the topic so we can understand the topics a little bit better that we're going to be discussing, and I think it would be more productive. It's my opinion.
Okay, thank you. Move on to Linda Ellison. Okay.
I agree with them that,
I
You know,
need you to say
I'm
something.
sorry, Linda Ellison back, 105 Settlers Trail,
Thank you.
sorry. Okay, I agree with him because if you say in the beginning we don't even know what y'all are talking about. We want to hear what you're talking about first, and then we want to give our input as a city.
Okay.
Thank you.
Move on to Mark Schultz. Name and address, sir?
Mark Schultz, 1115 Bridge Farmer. I agree with both of them. Should be able to talk about it afterwards.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else want to speak that hadn't signed up yet? Going once? Going twice? All right, thank you all. Moving on to the business items. Mr. Neighbors is here. We're going to move to the presentation of the fiscal year 2025 by our audit, Wayne Neighbors, sir.
I'm glad to see so many people here for the audit presentation.
I've been told you were coming. I mean, they were disappointed last time. We had to give them all gift certificates.
Mayor and Council, thank you for allowing me to serve as your auditor again this year. Wayne Neighbors, Neighbors CPA Services. You have your blue binder in front of you there. I'll just go through this. On page 1, the independent auditor's report. This is the most important part of this document because it is where I say that I think your financial statements present fairly in all material respects for the year ending September 30th, 2025. So you've got a clean audit again this year. You'll be commended on that. When we do an audit, we base our opinion on generally accepted auditing practices, generally accepted auditing standards, The reason that we do that is so that you can have consistency across audits. It doesn't matter how large or how small the organization or city is. All of the standards are promulgated by the AICPA and the Financial Accounting Standards Board and the Governmental Accounting Standards Board to be identical so that we can assure that you are subject to the same testing and procedures that all other governmental organizations are. You're responsible as management, the council is the management, for making sure that your financial statements are free of material mistakes. When I say material, we plan and perform our audit to obtain a reasonable, not absolute, assurance that there are no material misstatements. And the reason that we do that is because we use sampling and we use materiality, because if you tried to test every transaction, it would be cost prohibitive for anyone to do an audit. Does that make sense? So you're responsible for that. You're responsible for making sure you're using the right financial accounting standards. You're under the accrual basis of accounting and the modified accrual basis of accounting. I won't go into that, but you have to conform to generally accepted auditing practices, okay? Another thing that we look at when we do the audit is we look at something called going concern. That means, do you have the ability to pay your bills for the next 12 months? Are you going to be able to continue as a going concern for the next 12 months from the date of the audit? And of course, you have no problems. So if you'll turn over to page 11. This is your governmental funds balance sheet. I'm happy to entertain questions on any of the financial statements as we go through these, but I want to point out some things that I think you would be of most interest in knowing about. First off, on your balance sheet, we look at your reserves, your cash reserves, your financial reserve balances. And we like to see in a governmental fund, general fund, we like to see at least a 25% reserve, meaning at least 3 months of operating expenses in your reserves. And you have 68%. So you're very well capitalized. Your liquidity is quite well. So you don't have any problems there. The other thing that we look at is something called a current ratio. That compares your current assets to your current liabilities. Current liabilities are things that are going to come due in the next 12 months, okay? We like to see at least a 1-to-1 ratio there, and you're at 12-to-1. So again, your liquidity is very good. Turning over to page 13, your revenues are up about 6% over last year. As a governmental entity, you're not typically going to, have a much larger revenue stream one year to the next. But because your property taxes and things are held fairly constant. Growth in the area is what generally drives your revenue streams in a large way. You did have about $136,000 deficiency this past year, simply because you did so much in capital improvements with the roads and things like that. But you had such a large reserve that doesn't hurt you at all to have that planned spend down. So that's actually a good thing. And then on page 15, this is your budget comparison, budget to actual amounts. You were actually over budget on your revenues a little over $1 million, but you were over on expenses also a little over $1 million. So it kind of evened out. And that we see that a lot, especially with growing cities, because you have such a large swing in things. You don't know what kind of development you're gonna have coming in. You don't know what kind of expenses you're gonna incur. Typically, you incur a lot more money with fees and things of that nature, but then you also incur a lot more expense on the other side with implementing those developments. So your overall budget called for basically a zero or flat net income, and you had, like I said, a deficiency of $136,000. Page 21. Okay. You guys implemented a pension plan last year that actually became fruition this year. These next 10 pages are everything you ever wanted to know about pensions. But the two things that I wanted to point out is on page 21, about 3/4 of the way down, you see net pension liability or asset. See that?
Mhm.
And 2024, $99,625. Now, you say, well, our financial statements are 2025. Yes, they are, but the state pension plan is year end, 12/31/24. So that's why that says 2024 there. And then on the other page, the next page, 22, about same way it went down, you see total OPB liability end of year $2,567. That is the liability that you got in the short-term disability plan, okay? The $99,625 is the overall liability that you're going to have in your pension fund as those pensions are accrued by employees. Make sense? And those numbers can be found on page 8. Again, about 3/4 of the way down, net pension liability and total OPB liability. So those numbers are included in your financial statements. Going over to page 32, this is a schedule of your long-term debt. You're getting pretty close to having this paid off. And really with the interest rate that you got on it, I don't see any reason in trying to pay it off early. But that's a schedule that'll tell you what your upcoming principal and interest payments are for the next 4 years. Other than that, just wanted to make you aware that we look at qualitative issues when we do our audit, not just quantitative. Whether we have any problems with obtaining documents that we need, whether we can find things in a timely manner. We do sampling of invoices. We tie the invoices back to the books to make sure that they're coded correctly so that we know that your expenses are allocated and coded correctly according to your financial statements. And whether we had any problems with staff, did we get what we asked for in a timely manner? Were there any disagreements? And I'm happy to tell you there were none. We got everything we needed. Your staff, Janice, and everybody is just right on spot, right on target. So it was a very good audit, as it usually is. And I'll entertain any questions now if you have any.
How do we stand compared to most everybody else you do this for?
For your size city, you're in great shape.
That's what we want to hear.
Yeah, I guess just again for our residents in the audience, was there anything outside of the norm that you normally see when you're auditing a city?
No, nothing. There was nothing unusual.
But you're only doing sampling, right? You're not actually, so,
On
I'm
the,
gonna bring up our neighboring city that everybody's asking for a forensic audit. What does that entail?
a forensic audit?
Yeah,
Well, the only reason that you would want a forensic audit is if you suspected fraud, okay? A forensic audit is where you actually go in and look at specific accounts and actually try to dig in and make comparisons and do analysis across all of your accounts, specifically cash accounts, to determine whether there's any fraud that's going on in the organization. When I say we do sampling, we audit everything on the balance sheet substantively. So all of your accounts receivable, all of your bank reconciliations, all of the accounts payable, any of those sorts of things, we look at all of those transactions, okay? It's just that when you come to income and expenses, the volume of transactions just precludes you from testing every single one of them.
right.
But we pull a sample, we do a random sample, and when we pull that sample, we pull it according to, for instance, I may do 40 invoices, and I'll probably choose like, every 8th check or something of that like nature, depending on how many transactions there are. And I pull those out, I look through them, I look at the coding on them, and make sure. Now, if I find evidence that some of those are not coded correctly, then I will pull additional transactions. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But forensic accounting is something that's not really for a financial audit, that's really for an audit where somebody suspects fraud. Yeah.
We don't have anything from us neighbors?
Well, as always, if you think of something, you're always welcome to call me. I'm happy to talk to you anytime.
Thank you for your time and your good work you do.
Thank you very much. You have a good night.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Randy.
Okay, and moving along to our engineer, Justin Ivy. You have a long list here, sir.
Yes, sir.
Want to just go down the list, or is there a specific one you want to start with?
On that list, ought to work.
The speed humps, those are kind of incorporated into the phase 2 Bridge Farmer Road. Looking into actually pouring those with the asphalt, rather than having a bolt down type, kind of a retrofit thing that I'd have liked them. This year off, I got them last year. As far as the section of road that we already rehabbed for speed humps, we'll probably have to look at something like that, or have somebody come in and build the asphalt and build those.
That's actually,
So that's something we could talk about
okay.
anytime, or, we can talk to everybody.
Do we have a, yeah, I thought we were getting kind of numbers and everything to have a better idea of what the additional cost was gonna be. Do we know, like, because I thought we were getting, hey, we need them every so many feet, they're gonna be
Right.
this wide, it's gonna cost, do we have any of that yet?
That is part of your study. I have that preliminary study.
Okay.
And I need to give them a call tomorrow, and we'll just go over that so I can get that finalized to you. But it's not something I wanted to present today. But you do have that study.
So the study's done.
Okay, next.
Culverts, we discussed some of the culverts in Settlers Creek. But the main culvert that I know of that is of concern is the one up by, is it Langston?
Yeah, Langston.
Yeah.
And we have a plan and profile of that. I kind of wanted to go over that and see, because property lines, for the majority of them, go to the center of the Bridge Farmer Road. And we don't really have any easements or anything there. How far are we willing to, or can we go outside of that? Because we may have to do some grading of the ditches and down the channel itself, kind of smooth that out, putting some rock ripper out.
Is there like a recommendation? Yeah.
I have something drawn up that I can send to you, and y'all can review, and maybe we can discuss next time.
Okay.
But there's still a few more tweaks to do to it, but it's pretty well. Maybe two.
Okay.
As far as the culverts in Settlers Creek, we're on a hold on that as far as I know. Is that right?
Again, I'm super surprised that we don't have, we were talking about this in October, right? I understand the holidays, but I was really hoping we'd have, hey, this is what it's gonna cost. This is the section of Bridge Farmer Road that we're looking to start up next. I speak for myself, but I'm sure I speak for the residents, and I'm like getting really sick of driving down Bridge Farmer Road, right? So I was really hoping that we'd have more than, hey, a study's done, and
Well,
I'll
as far
go
as
to-
I'm aware, the limits of Bridge Farmer Phase 2 are from where we stopped Phase 1 to Downey. That was my last direction.
No,
Settlers Bay.
no, Settlers Bend.
Something's been the next freeway stop sign right up here,
yeah,
way short of the old one.
yeah, I guess I'm confused as to why did we stop? I guess I thought we were, man, as soon as we finished that, I know there was a little bit of lag time. There's still mailboxes and different things that we're waiting, slippage and stuff on the bottom that we're waiting for Apple to come and correct. But why? I guess I'm confused why we're not moving forward.
Well, we need a typical section. Do you want to rip up the road and dig it down 3 feet or 18 inches like we did on Phase 1? Do we want to mill and overlay?
We don't want to do what we did down there, right? We don't want to use the GL grid, whatever, right? I think that's what we're looking for your expertise to tell us what's going to be the best, longest, cost-efficient item for this next section that we need to get. Joe?
Mayor, if I remember correctly, I think we had last discussed that we were gonna do just additional asphalt. Whatever it would be as far as one pass that we would get done to get those initial figures, so then we could start working on getting a loan. If I remember correctly, before the administration changed, I think that was one of the last meetings we had. I don't remember where we left off with the engineering aspect of it, but I think Justin had suggested that we would do 4 inches. I think we could get away with a single pass of asphalt. The base itself would remain at the 6 inches that we did down there, or is it 8? Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm
8
sorry, I
inches.
don't have it memorized. But we were just waiting on figures, so then that way Madrid could work on getting some type of loan work up with our credibility rate, whatever we may or may not have. As far as Phase 2,
Yeah, again,
not culverts.
I don't think we need a loan for settlers to settlers. I think we have the money to be able to do that. Again, I don't know why we paused.
I've got about 60%. That's going to exhibit with some specs that go with it, kind of Phase 1.
Okay.
And we can finish that, but and I need to know a typical section in order to get you quantities and a cost estimate for
Okay. So what is? I mean, do we know what a typical section means? Like just the boundary? Or are you just looking for a boundary?
it. No, your typical section would be if you just cut the road
Okay.
Cross section.
and you're showing them you want 4 or 6 or 8 inches
Oh, okay.
asphalt, however much base, and what method you want them to use that to re-up the road.
Okay.
If you want to just scarify remix and overlay, or do you want to actually go through the process of digging it up again, putting down new base?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think I.
Yeah, we have to do it.
Yeah. I guess that's what we've been talking about. I don't know why we're.
Right, and Mayor, again, just to reiterate, we're deciding to go at this hourly rate because it is significantly cheaper versus doing the full engineering round, because we saw with the development agreement with the most northern part of the road.
So we just need to get your recommendation of like, hey, we still want to go down 8 inches, new base, Class B, Class C, whatever type of asphalt, and we can get rolling. What's the ask?
Well, if you want to dig it up, I would just say we do basically the same thing we did down there.
Okay. So
And
close.
we could omit the glass pane.
Right. For sure.
I mean, we could do a certain thickness of maybe a 2-inch, I don't know if they'd lay a 2-inch type bead, like a
Yeah.
thicker, a more robust asphalt with bigger aggregates in it, and then
Right.
just a smooth driving surface. I mean, there's several different options we can go with.
Good 2 inches
Whatever's
would be
gonna
in
handle
it.
the trucks.
2 inches would be, and then,
Huh?
well, yeah, 2 inches would be, and then 2 inches would be on top.
Possibly. They may have to do 2.5 feet. I have to go back and look at
Yeah,
that.
bigger,
Also.
Okay. Can we get a response like pretty quick, Justin? Like, I don't want January to kind of come and go. We don't have how long do you think it'll get to or be to get us a good like solid recommendation?
Well, when you looking to start the project, maybe
Yesterday.
yesterday.
Like, yeah, and again, maybe I thought we were getting more information, better information, so we can get going today. Like again, I guess I'm just kind of annoyed that we're where we are. You know what I mean? After we finished that project 4 months ago, or however long it was.
Jess?
After the rainy season, so we don't have what happened down there. Maybe for a start date first. I mean, I know we're anxious to get it going,
Put you in
but,
June.
you
No,
know, for
that's-
May. 'Cause May was good, but. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I don't know, we can't predict the weather.
No.
February or March.
Well, ultimately for roads
March
around
was
here,
the-
June,
that was the rainy
July,
season.
the county always says.
So yeah, I mean, ideally we're something.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Mayor, but I've seen other highways in the state of Texas done during the rainy season, and without having the debacle that we had with the previous company, it should be fairly quick process.
Yeah, you get a company that's vetted and they do this day in and day out, yeah, it should be quick. The difference with these bigger jobs that we see done, I mean, they roll in and they take it down engineer spec 3 feet, they build up base and they don't have to worry about pussyfooting around with the rest of it because it's solid. We don't have the funds for that. I talked to them when we rode around and I said, look, you know, the specs do 8 inches of base and give us a price on 3 inches of straight asphalt or the 2.5 of the D and the 2 of the B, but give us an option, a separate line item price if we go 12 inches for a better base, just to see what it's gonna cost. It's just a math thing as far as, you know, the extra base material coming out.
Okay, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You want 2 options, one for.
Yeah, like we did down there, 8 inches, dig it out, 8 inches space, I'd like to see the price on the 2.5 and the 2. That's gonna be substantially stronger than anything else that they've done.
You just want a price on it, you don't want to do it as a, like a added alternate bid. Just depends on how it's set up, the bid schedule and the documents.
Well, no, what they'd already told you about the, what was it, 3 inches before?
3 inches.
3 inches of asphalt, the thickness of it. What was the original spec that you did on low?
It was 3 inches.
Okay, yeah, just put the price on that, but then again in the option column, you know, your recommendation column for, you know, or better bang for the buck, the strength of it, with the 2.5 and the 2,
Okay.
and then the option on the extra 4 inches of base, so we get 12. Just so we can see what the numbers are.
While we're on this subject, we need to figure out a way to control the trucks. Because we already got slippage from the trucks on the new section. With the new TXB coming in, truck traffic's gonna increase. Not to mention, I've seen probably a dozen of their trucks in a short time run up and down the roads.
Monday, Tuesday,
Yep.
No,
So I don't understand the big hurry to spend $1 million to do the next segment of Bridge Farmer just to watch it get tore up by trucks.
I'm not in a hurry.
I mean, it's not going to be $1 million, but I mean, I thought we talked about closing the section off, so there won't be.
Right, we'll close that section off, but
Okay.
after it's done, now we got all the trucks running up and down the roads again.
Well, after it's done, it
Yeah,
should
I
be able
mean,
to support it. I mean,
it's
I
interesting.
don't like the trucks either, but there's not a whole lot.
Well, the new
to do
section's
right now.
not supporting it very well, there's already slippage from where they're locking up for the stop signs.
I didn't like the design of the new section myself. There was problems with it while it was being done. There's still problems with it.
Well, these roads can't handle 18-wheelers all the time. I mean,
Yeah,
it is throwing just money
Yeah.
away.
So if you want something to handle the trucks, we'll go back to your deal.
Exactly, and we can't afford that, so,
Anyone have $30 million? $30 million.
Right.
yeah.
Anybody?
Well, what's a realistic life expectancy? I know it's always as long as it lasts. long as it can.
Well, I think the last one, we were told like 5 years maybe.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be turning around and doing it.
And I don't know if we can't raise taxes and we can't get that money, and I haven't seen the 12 to 16 million dollars that Pat said he brought in, so I can't see that we can, have the money to keep doing it every 5 years.
Mayor, just a reminder again, because I think some things have been forgotten. Sellers to settlers, looking at doing the orange fencing, I don't know if the council still wants to proceed with this, along the bypass or the detour that they're gonna have with temporary speed bumps, so then that way people aren't just racing down the neighborhood roads. I don't know if you can include that, or if you can ask Justin to include that in his quote, so then we can figure out exactly what dollar amount. Because if Madrid, our finance guy, is thinking we can do it with what we currently have in budget, then I have full faith in him. He's a numbers man, but.
Just tell him what you'd like to see a price on.
Well, I know, but I'm supposed to address you, and then, if you allow me to speak to him, then yes. So Justin, if you don't mind, just a quick reminder, man, about the orange fencing along the property or the streets from sellers to settlers. And then temporary speed bumps so that people aren't speeding. And then I think it was full closure at the northern settlers. Was that Creek or Bend? I can't remember, I'm sorry.
Remember there was orange fencing along the road for?
It's so people, because as we've noticed with unfortunately living where I'm at Myrick and Overland, people tend to just drive in your property because they're inconvenienced by not reading traffic signs. So to keep people from driving into the property owner's lane to either pass a slowing truck or whatever reason. So it would be to restrict them only to what, it's a lack of common sense for some drivers, but to keep them on the road.
Well, we start sending a bunch of semis down that way, the burden on it, the orange fences aren't gonna last long.
What?
Fact.
What's the what's the alternative, Scott?
There is no.
We're just not gonna not do it.
There is no alternative. I'm just pointing out things that need to be
100%. It doesn't
in
change the
back
fact
of
that we
everybody's mind, so that when something goes wrong and they come back and they go, we discussed this.
Yeah.
We knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah, which is fine. But we still need to get the road done.
We have no ability to control the trucks on the road.
That was it. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Justin.
And I didn't understand the urgency on getting the road done now, so we can move fast on that, that's no big deal. As we decide on a typical section and cost, our budget number,
Okay. Okay.
in a week or two. I'm sure that's good.
Okay, moving right along. Next.
Guardrails, we are planning on putting guardrails on the new culvert at, keep forgetting the name of the road.
Langston?
Yes.
No. Oh, yeah. Okay.
The metal beam guard fences.
Yes. It would be past Langston.
We could include that with the project, to have that same contractor install guardrails on the other culvert south of Settlers Trail.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
That'd probably be the most cost effective way to do it.
Yeah, when I get price on, sure.
Yeah, for both.
Those are the only guardrails I'm aware of.
That's right. 1, 2, 3.
Three places.
Yeah, 'cause there's 2 down there, 1 up there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Drainage recommendations. I don't really know what that means.
Thank you, Mayor. That's for Overland. There was a concern about the culverts for each cul-de-sac that is in Overland. Boat Arc is one of them. I think we had kind of looked at it, and our biggest concern was looking at if we're improving it north stream, then you have to worry about what's going out. But we figured out the last one was horrible. I'm sorry, but that's what the concern is for drainage: is see the best option. I know we probably could have fit in with the culverts that we have on Bridge Farm, but we did have a lengthy email from our concerned citizens.
Railhead.
Yeah. Was one.
Railhead's farthest one up, and then Bodart, Old Lake
Old
Circle,
Lake, yeah.
Creek View Circle. Coming down towards Bridge Farm, and then it hits Bridge Farm, so whatever we do up there is all gonna affect downstream.
Correct, and I think we had last discussed about working downstream first and then going upstream, because if we just improve upstream, it's just gonna bottleneck But again, that's something else we have to look at. If we're losing our tax base, then unfortunately we might not have the money for the improvements needed in all of our crossing. So you may have forgotten, sorry.
No, last I remember, we presented some numbers and some, preliminary sizes for those culverts. I think those were done 100 year, and then we brought up the topic of the design for 100-year storm and possibly affect downstream. But that's also, there's a study floating around for all those tributaries, and that would affect that study. And to do a study on that one tributary, probably $100,000.
Sorry, I thought we had.
Well, so what I thought we were gonna do, or we were considering doing, is replacing them similar size,
Yes.
but just a little bit bigger.
Correct.
Improving head walls, improving some channels, cleaning them out, and things of that nature, which I think would give you some numbers.
Okay, well, the last numbers I think we saw were that was what, 6-point-something million or 4-point-something million?
It was a lot.
And that was the extreme end. I don't think you saw the, and I apologize if you did send it to us.
Didn't
Where,
include railhead. It didn't, the numbers I
You're
think
right.
that we had did not include railhead, it was like 2.5 million.
okay, so 2.5 for the three, not including railhead.
We went out
Oh, we
and
did.
looked at all these, and his first recommendation then was to straighten out the creek so that it has a flow in and a flow out. Because vortexes cut your flow by 30% or better. And then all the creeks through everybody's property being cleared. Because all the trees, the debris, the creek going like this slows it up, picks everything up, and then clogs the pipes. When we were out there, there's already ones that 6 inches or a foot of stuff just from the last rainstorm. Walking the things, people are doing their clippings, their branches, doing their hedges. It goes right out back in the creek right beside it, so it's gonna wash out. The recommendation that you gave me then, if you still stand by it, was that the first phase would be to straighten the creeks out, skid steer, something like that, and get people clearing their banks and all that, so it's free flowing. That still stands?
I would try to clean it and see what it does, and then you can go from there. I mean, if you clean the downstream end of the culvert and reinforce it, fill in some of the holes, maybe that makes the water flow faster.
The two upper ones where the right pipe was built up sediment, completely clogged, it was,
Right.
yeah, that all had to be straightened out upstream
Flushed out.
and all the way downstream between two of the cults.
Have we, as a city, moved to send the letters to the budding property owners to clean the creek? I know you reminded me that we had last left at that.
No, that's the updated ordinance that puts it more in layman's terms, so you can better understand it. It's something.
We have not sent, to answer his question, we have not sent out any letters yet, kind of the wrong time of the year. We missed our summer dry period window with getting the road, focusing on that, and then, so we're not, but we have not. So the answer is no, we have not done that.
Okay, no, I wasn't, and I'm sorry, I wasn't specifically talking about active complaints or violations, just a friendly reminder to everyone, just saying, hey, you are responsible, there have been concerns, even by some of you, it helps by keeping your, and unfortunately, the ones that do raise concerns, I've drove by, they have the cleanest part of the stream.
Oh, I thought you meant to let people know we're gonna be on their property. No.
No, not to be on
and
the
have
property,
equipment.
I mean, they are responsible, I think we last left it off as, I think the attorney had mentioned, that the ordinance was written strongly enough that it said you had to keep your culverts clean, you had to keep the streams clean, all that good stuff.
Yeah, she said our existing one covers that.
Yes.
That's what we were waiting for a definition from them, but they're rewriting it to be more layman's terms, but the existing one covers it. You can send them a letter that you need to comply with it and explain what it is clear. You would send them creek whatever your side and all, and then keep everything clear and free flowing. That came up with the one gentleman whose house got flooded because the ditch in front, their property. That's what started all that. They've rewritten it. I don't know if it's in here or not. It's got a lot of red lines on it.
I think the ordinance we have does have both, and they're the old and new.
Yeah. But the one we have currently in place, in force, covers it all. So yeah, we definitely send letters out that needs to be done. There's been studies, engineers report that they need to comply. however we need to word it, and then send it out to everybody so it's not too much of a nasty grammar.
Right, it's just a friendly reminder at this point, and then unfortunately if it continues, if the neighbor, and again, we need to educate our citizens, if they had flood issues or drainage issues because of their neighbors, they could easily report them to the city.
So we're gonna wait for summer to send those out now?
Uh,
I don't see any reason why we can't send it out now. It's not the rainy season yet.
We can let people know, yes, we're gonna be doing, that you need to keep your stuff clear. What I thought he was talking about was the notification where we were gonna go out and be on somebody's property, clearing a creek.
No,
We have to
we're not.
we have to get special permission to enter somebody's property, even to fix them.
Right, and I
That's what
think,
I thought he was speaking to.
right,
Right.
and to that point, I think, sorry Scott, go ahead.
No, I thought we're not going on people's property. We're gonna make them clean their properties.
Right, because the task was too great for David and even the
Right.
hired hand to do it. I think Justin, after he literally walked the creeks with David, he said, yeah, this is too much to undertake for two individuals and the type of equipment we're looking to rent. Which again, the easiest solution is to put the responsibility back on the property owner.
Clearing it is one thing, but straightening it out or, I don't.
Well, I think
We're not,
I think-
we're not asking them to straighten it. We're asking them to clear it out right now. And
Right.
Justin just said, let's see how it flows after it's all cleared out.
I talked to two landowners out there between Bodart and Red Head, and he's like, I don't have the equipment. I said, well, we can do it, but it's up for you. And he's like, I don't have a problem with that. So.
Just a quick suggestion. I mean, I know people say, oh, I'm not of the age to do this. Oh, I'm not, I don't have the equipment. Last I checked, we did live in America where we did have the ability to hire someone else to do something.
Mhm.
So the responsibility shouldn't fall on the city or the taxpayers of the city.
Exactly right.
For an individual that doesn't have the budget to, when they bought the property, they knew there was a creek. They knew there was going to have to be some upkeep with it. I hate to sound so harsh, but it is not the taxpayer's responsibility for that one individual that can't seem to keep their stuff up.
Just
Hire someone to do it.
Yeah, and if he's got the money for it, we're not doing it for him. He can hire somebody to do it.
Well, what do they have the money? What we're talking about discussing now is that we have a lot of problems with drainage around here. Clogs, creeks, pipes, roads washing out, it gets really expensive. The law in Lowry Crossing ordinance says that if you own, you own the middle of the road where you're unique, where most people don't, there's an actual right of way, we have easements. And you own property line, but if you front on a creek, front, back, whatever, you own the middle of the creek. You have to keep your creek and ditches, bar ditches, clear and free flowing. Some people have let, trees that big grow up in the middle of them. Down below the fire chief's house, you can't even make out a creek bed. It turns into about 100 and some foot wide marsh for, several hundred feet. That's causing backup and damage to the roads and everything else. So it's to the point where it's been a neighborly thing. Hey, clean this. Nobody wants to be the bad guy. So the city's the point where we have to try and figure out how to go about it without, angering everybody. The law clearly says it's a property owner's responsibility. I keep mine clear, my creek, my neighbors on both sides, the roads and everything else, weed whacking and all that. I can't do the whole city. And I don't want my tax dollars paying to have somebody else's ditch cleaned out by the city. We need to put that on them, and after going back and forth to lawyers and looking at the idea of, getting equipment, having our maintenance guy and help her do it, it's just a task that he couldn't get done in a couple of years. So we're putting it, enforcing our current law and be sending letters out to landowners so they know they have to maintain their property so it doesn't affect everybody else. That's what we're going back for. I know kind of hard to figure out what it is.
So can we plan to have that done before the next council meeting? That the letters go out as a friendly reminder that it is the property owner's responsibilities to clean out their creeks?
You want a
Can
letter
we
to
do
go
that?
out to every household?
Creek, along a creek.
Not every house.
Might as well make it
People got
right.
culverts in the front of their house, and
Yeah.
maintaining everything else. So, everybody.
I'd do everybody. I'd put it up on the website. Maybe one of us post it on next door so everybody sees it, just so it's out there. Nobody say I didn't see it, or very small people didn't see it. Explaining your bar ditch across the front has to remain clear and free flowing, and your creeks have got to be cut back. We'll have to figure wording on that so it covers everything and just blanket the place with it.
We can do that. We send out, we do a mailing, we do postcards, we call it over, get some attention.
Sorry, Mayor, does council have to approve the wording of the letter, or is it something that an administrator can do?
City administrator, they've done before in the past. She's had a few samples of them. Just, get them done, give them some out. Anybody else on that one? What you got?
So any other action items on that for me?
No, it says, oh, no, on that, no. We need to send letters out, see what we can get done. We can't do much with the creeks straightening out until we get to the dry season.
Just wanna make sure I'm holding on that.
Yeah, and then you're on to the, cul-de-sac on Old Myrick.
Cul-de-sac on Old Myers, I haven't seen that one in a while. We previously started talking about that a couple of administrations ago. But I'm not real sure, are we keeping Old Myrick closed at Old Simpson Road for good and creating a cul-de-sac? And so that just becomes an elbow onto Old Myrick. I'm not understanding the connectivity. And
Oh, sorry, he wasn't finished. You paused.
And what I remember is there was some telephone boxes or something over there on in the right, I don't know if it's in the right of way, but it's between the road and the privacy fences. There's some kind of above ground boxes. And I don't know who those belong to, what we're gonna do with them, because if we do this cul-de-sac right there, you're gonna need some of that.
No, that belongs to the North Texas Water District.
The telephone
Really?
box?
No, those
Sorry,
boxes.
it's not a telephone box, it's one of those vents that they have for the sewer line that's going in,
Yeah.
that was put in by North Texas Municipal Water District. Sorry, what?
Enforcement.
A force main, so they have
Yeah.
it fenced off, so it's not an eyesore. But you're absolutely right, that would be the ideal location to start the cul-de-sac, but it is in the way. Sorry.
No.
Answer
No,
your question?
that's great information to have, because so they have an easement through there.
Yes.
So we have to talk to North Texas about paying over the top of it.
And also, we would have to, we lost our contact when we lost Bob. He knew the landowner of that HOA owned property. I don't know if he reached out before he resigned to them to see if they would be interested to either donate to the city or sell, so we could do our cul-de-sac. But I know the question you had asked originally was if we can, sorry.
No.
Did I say it accurately? Or Bob was gonna read
You're
it?
talking about the retention pond?
Yes, the retention
Yeah.
pond area, yes.
But HOA is defunct, so it's nobody's now.
Well, it's
That's
actually,
so-
on the CAD, it's
It still
individuals.
shows them that they're defunct. I talked to Princeton years ago trying to see if they would give it to us, and everybody was dropping the tax. There's huge tax liens on our property. Everybody's dropping it except Princeton ISD, they want their money.
So Bob actually found it on the CAD, and he found that the landowner's name was listed as one of his old clients,
Mhm.
and he had mentioned it at a city before, or at a city meeting, that he was gonna reach out and see what could they work out, if there were gonna be some type of donation or buyout or whatnot, to give him an idea. Or honestly, to see if he truly owned it, because the CAD could be incorrect, the CAD isn't always accurate. But
When I looked at it, that was the guy that had designed it, and it was turned over to the HOA, but the HOA didn't follow through with their part of it.
Right, but if we're going based off of what the CAD's saying as a legal landowner,
Yeah.
we would wanna talk to the person that holds the title, or, you know, metaphorically, or whether he actually does it, so that's a good starting point. But I don't think we ever took off with that with Bob.
What are we looking at a court right there for? The road just comes down and takes a left and goes Mark.
That's what I was asked to do. But I haven't spent much time on it because I didn't really fully understand everything. And then we had the whole turnover issues and things like that, so honestly, I have not.
What's our thinking with the court then?
So the idea would be to eliminate the cut through from the city of Princeton, and the most ideal would be right there at the city line. So the city line goes right to the middle of Simpson.
Mhm.
So the idea would be to cut right there and just kind of keep it open for those that abut to Myrick. After talking to the attorney, we found out that we can't legally close Myrick once it's been fully open now, because it's a public road, until we get the signature of every abutting resident there to say, hey, I'm willing to give up the right, we want to close it down and forever. So otherwise, temporarily, we had to shut down because we were doing construction. We haven't done construction in the last 4 months. Then the condition of the road came up and saying we can't reopen it because of potential liability. There is a workaround to that. The attorney did mention this, that all we have to do is say rough road ahead, and as long as we warn them and fill the potholes, it's now their liability if they decide to use this as a cut through. But again, without having the written consent of every property owner, we can't keep Myrick Road closed. The idea to do the cul-de-sac would be, we're not closing Myrick, right? We're leaving it open to the residents of Lowry Crossing, but we're cutting it off from the rest of Princeton. That was the idea that Bob had for doing the cul-de-sac. Now, we never got the figures for that.
So as the cul-de-sac is that, if the cul-de-sac's right there at that intersection, can anybody just turn into it, or are you putting that fence there and the cul-de-sac's back here?
Yeah, the cul-de-sac
Okay.
would be on the west side
West side.
of our property line. So then, and basically, anyone that lives in Lowry Crossing can go down Myrick if they want,
They
but they
can,
would turn back
they
around.
can go Myrick to Bridge Farm from the back of your property.
Correct, if they
Right.
wanted to, yes.
So would that be
Or
considered
either
a public road then?
It is a public
It
road
is.
now.
It
It's
is.
still a
Even if you
public
have it
road now.
closed off?
Right
Yeah,
now,
it's
it's
not.
temporary it's temporary closure for construction
Yeah,
is the way we have it now.
yeah.
And we had to weld that gate because unfortunately, the
People kept
entitled
trying to
citizens
get,
of
yeah.
Princeton were going and pushing the gate open and just driving through.
I'm cutting the lock.
Or cutting the lock, yes,
Yeah.
on different occasions.
Well, we're still investigating more construction on Bridge Farm, so it's still closed for construction as far as I'm concerned, and there's safety issues out there. It would be a chunk of change to fill in all those lengthy holes, and we just don't have the budget for that right now, so it's a safety issue and a construction issue, so it's still, Mark is still closed for the short time or near time for right now.
So I think to answer Justin's question, I mean, are we still looking at a cul-de-sac, or now that we have new administration, is there another way we could look at keeping it open as a public road to the citizens of Lowry Crossing, but shutting it off from everyone else?
I've had a lot of people call because they didn't think they got answers before or whatever. I mean, we've talked about this a bunch of times over the years. I told them that we go door to door and see who's for, who's against. And my thought was right there at the water tower. For the cul-de-sac, everybody that lives that side of public road, they can go to Princeton or Walmart, whatever. It's cul-de-sac over behind the next curve. Everybody on that one can go that way. Still public road, it's just courts now.
How many
Public
driveways,
road doesn't have to be excuse me.
how many driveways do you have on
Oh, every lot has a
Yeah.
rear one.
those? I thought the ones on the north side, I thought a bunch of that was a subdivision.
No, on Myrick, it comes down because every house from cross fence in the crossings or from Overland, all of them have a rear entrance off the property. On the Myrick, it's probably,
It's probably 28.
Not all.
Not all.
Not all.
No,
Maybe
that's not what you-
quite a
Maybe
few,
5.
Not all.
five
Maybe
out of about 30.
Yeah.
Yeah.
30
Yeah,
plus.
just somebody hadn't put a culvert in there and started using it yet, but it's not like they don't have a right to. So the workaround I found is if you cut the road, put two courses, it's still public road. It's just no guarantee that you get through roads.
Well, making the cul-de-sac would be doing the same thing as just making the dead end, but just make better signs. I think the big reason for the cul-de-sac is for when the trucks make it down there, they got a way to turn around and not backing into Joe's driveway and stuff. That was the cul-de-sac reason. I would just close it off and make it a dead end, leave it a public road, just for the access of Lowry Crossing. But you know it's a dead end when you start driving down there. And we could put 50 signs of dead end going down there, people are still going down there.
But you want for a truck, it's not a big cul-de-sac.
That was the
Yeah,
design.
trucks, you go down there, you're on your own.
Yeah, no truck sign, that's small too.
Yeah, that was,
Yeah,
that
well,
was on Rich Farm too, though.
That's what every other jurisdiction do, they put the no truck sign up, you go down there, you get yourself in trouble, you're in trouble. Like, we can't idiot-proof everything anymore.
Yeah, again, I'm open to if we make a cul-de-sac where, again, at the water tower or even the next one, what that would look like. I don't know if others have a dog in the fight, but
I'm not opposed to the idea. We just have to remember Briano. She is the person that's smack dab in the middle between two S curves. So if we just shut it down there, which end would she be on? I guess we could ask if she had a preference, if she wanted access to Princeton or access to the inner city.
Yeah.
But if we look at it though, if we're doing a cul-de-sac at both ends, we're now looking at two cul-de-sacs for the sides of trucks versus just one at the very end. So that's the only thing I want to add, but I'm not opposed to that idea, because I think that was even thrown around too before we decided the cul-de-sac.
No,
Say that, and if you do a cul-de-sac, also, cars are gonna drive right through it. I mean, it's only a 6-inch curve.
yeah, we put concrete barriers.
Especially
Excuse me,
trucks.
Pat, I was under your impression when you were talking about putting the cul-de-sac in the middle,
Yeah.
is to everybody that lives on the north side can go out to Simpson and the other side can go out to Bridge Farm.
All the
Right,
people's calling,
whereas-
probably talked to 10 different landowners, and the ones that are from water tower, they said, no, we need to go this way, we don't wanna go that way, and the other ones down below seem to wanna go this way, so I just threw that
So
out there.
it wouldn't be 2 cul-de-sacs, then it would just be 1. It would be 1 at the end, but you would have access to the part of it, and then the other way would have access to the part of it.
No.
So you wouldn't be able to go all the way through back to Bridge Farm, or you'd have to go out Simpson.
No, but we're talking, what they're talking about is a turnaround.
Am I wrong?
No, going both ways.
Yeah, there's gotta be a turnaround going
Put
both
a
ways.
cul-de-sac at the water tower and a cul-de-sac at the other
So there's gonna
corner,
have to be 2.
and take the road up between.
Oh, take the road in between.
Yeah, leave the one person in the middle, they'd have to have access over to the one,
Okay,
you know, give them their choice, want to go this way or that way, and then.
but still half would be going out to Simpson, the other half would be going out to Bridge
Which
Farm.
one? Right.
Alright. That's all.
Well, it's just another option, as the people that call me, the ones that live up that way favor going that way, the ones that live down here favor going this way.
Is there merit to putting a cul-de-sac on the south end of Old Bridge Farm for those people that have access to Old Bridge Farm today? Because I understand it between the new Simpson Road that's coming through, the name of the development, but from that new Simpson Road to Old Simpson Road, there's really not a big need for that. Because they'll be going up Simpson Road on Myra and then on to, the new.
They do 400, yeah, the 400.
I asked Clarence a couple years ago about, I said, what if we just take that up or block it off, because I said, it's people's property, you know, and he goes, talk about that later when we get Simpson done. I was like, okay, so I mean, he said there was an option for that, to keep traffic from, you know, to stay on the new Simpson and not come down the old one. That would pretty much eliminate a lot of the cut through.
Right.
He seems to think that once the new road gets fully opened, everybody's gonna go there until they get behind somebody slow, there's an accident, and there's gonna be 3,000 cars, you know, a minute coming through. There's no,
I agree with both of you.
there's no real answer. Well, yeah, I talked to Clarence at length about it. The only way to get around the law about the public road and keep it open is to cut the road. And if we put a cul-de-sac at the end where the retention pond is, everybody up there is gonna be in arms about it. I mean, it's, put up signs, you know, no trucks, and I'm not so much for a big cul-de-sac, a small one, so smaller expense. Truck gets down and it's on them, they see the signs. Yes.
I know it says cul-de-sac on Omari, but here's another thing to look at. We could look at getting a gate with a key card system. I know it's going to be tedious for our staff, but it may be more cost effective than building an entire cul-de-sac. Putting a gate at the end and making it to where it's still a public road, but with public access to our citizens to where they can access Omari.
I asked about that, and plus it crosses in, it crosses where I got those 2 lots donated to the city. People wanted to put a road out there, and I said, be careful what you ask for, because when the little lady's gonna slow down here, everybody's gonna cut through the subdivision and race through there. They said, well, we could put a key gate or do a thing. I said, well, that's cool, even little clickers, but you all have to take up a collection and pay for it. But then everybody's gonna be loading their clickers or giving out the code. It'll be massive traffic through there again anyway. That's something that we can't pay for. That's something that, you know, if they wanted to do it, I'll back it, you know, but it just, as soon as they found out that once the gate opens up, everybody's gonna race through there, then everybody I talked to said, forget it.
Well, then it's just a matter of time before somebody smashes through the gate, right? Like that's the. Yeah, I guess at the end of it, if we just have options, if we do kind of a double to where it's north side, south side, or if we just do the one at the end, having an idea of what the difference in cost, so that we can kind of put that out there for the residents to know. And if they have questions, they can reach out to the city or their council person in their ward, and then we can make a decision in a couple months.
Okay, so.
Or at least having we don't know what it's going to cost.
So cul-de-sac, Simpson in, and option 2 is cut the road, 2 cul-de-sacs. I got a feeling that's gonna be cheaper than the other one, because you gotta fill retention pond and compaction, everything else, that foam pole's in the way right there. That's actually power pole. 18,000 each pole to remove and replace.
I don't know why we fill it though. Why would we fill it?
It's not big enough, you have to
Well,
fill it to.
Do we need to do a roundabout?
Roundabout.
Well, I'm just saying that. I'm thinking in my head. I'm thinking it's a roundabout, right? If we're trying to.
No, just a dead end cul-de-sac.
I mean, yeah,
Let's
why
say this is
can't we
dead
just
end, why do we
do,
have to have a cul-de-sac?
right, that's what, why can't we just do some barriers or,
Cause they're talking
Mountain
about
dirt,
trucks going down
something.
there needing a place to turn around other than Joe's driveway.
And that's their problem then.
They put a toll up on your driveway.
yeah.
Oh, my problem?
No, the
You don't
trucker's
understand.
problem, not your
Okay, I'm
problem.
like, cause I have
No,
videos
we
where
can
the
put up
trucks-
multiple signs, no trucks, no turnaround, dead end, no through traffic, we can put up 1,000 signs. You're still gonna wind up with a truck or two down there.
Well, one or two down there, yeah, but not a whole fleet of them, just, you put a toll up on your back driveway for the trucks.
We're gonna put a lot more than just that.
$50 to use it, or $150 to get a tow truck pulled out here. I didn't mean to go off the top here, but.
Yeah, we just need options.
Yeah,
for the
so,
residents, yeah.
so, big cul-de-sac down the end, there's poles in the way, the North Texas Water Authority might be in the way. We can't go in the road, cul-de-sac has to east side,
If it's curved, then we gotta figure out what drainage is gonna be.
power poles in the way. And then the other option is cut and wire it, cord at the water tower, cord at the other corner. The house in the middle is probably gonna go south because, it would go the other way. It'd go east because her driveway's on that side and her access back to the back of the property's on that side also. It'd just be a little over that. And then we cut it in the middle. Okay, that's cul-de-sac, holy mark. Anybody got any other questions for him before he leaves out of here? You got anything that you, haven't brought up or want to touch back on or?
The widening of Bridge Farmer, at TXB.
Oh, at TXB.
Yeah, we're still working on that, these things,
Yeah.
we're charging for it,
Yeah, I need those numbers to go up and talk to them again.
and I'll use
You're off my Christmas card list. Man,
I'll get
Someone
back
took
to
the
you.
holidays off for
Yeah,
sure.
really.
It's
It's the whole office.
unfortunately, this time of year where they're incredibly busy. Okay, so we're done with you. You can hang out, enjoy the rest of it, or you can take off. We appreciate you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate everything you can get back to us as soon as possible.
Will do.
Tomorrow would be great.
Just
Okay, I hate that ran out, but it's a lot of needed info for council, and there's just a whole lot of that at one time. Okay, next one, discuss, consider, and act on resolution 157, updating the rules and procedures and participation on how we run the meetings here.
Hey, just a question. Did we talk about moving number 4 to number 2? Because tonight we did call to order, roll call.
I did that.
And I thought we talked about the last time that was to be number 2. I don't know why they didn't change. Am I making that up?
No, you're not making it up.
Well, actually, I think last time roll call was between moving the South and Pledge.
Oh, right.
That's what we moved. All right, we can put where we want. I mean, if you want to call to order, you're going to do roll call right off the bat. I mean, it sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Everybody else thinks move number 4 up to number 2?
Yes.
Okay.
On the front page, the third whereas, I brought this up last time, using the language the last 3.5 decades, it doesn't age well. So in a decade from now, somebody will be looking at it going, well, 3.5 decades ago, they didn't update this again, so it's just poor language, I think. I think we should just put the regular date in there, that it was done.
Lawyers are the one that did it.
So you're telling me the lawyer put that in there?
Hmm.
The lawyer put that in there?
Put it in there last time and,
This is the codified one or not?
no, if they look at it before they send it to us. It was in the last one too, if I recall it.
I know, I brought it up in the last one.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing it up again.
Hey,
It doesn't age well, that's all
I
I'm
think
saying.
it should be a date myself.
Yeah, I wanna make it a date.
Third one, so instead of 3.5 decades,
Doesn't change since the date that was
time
passed.
stands still. Ms. Janice,
yes,
on 157, the third whereas,
yes.
second line, changed the last 3.5 decades since.
Third line.
Unless I said third
Got it.
whereas. can we put a date in there that it was changed again, or updated, or do they wanna keep that 3.5 decade line?
Many times, multiple times.
Well, yeah, so, okay.
What's your pleasure, folks?
Ask them what to replace that with legally, so it doesn't say 3.5 decades when,
Since the passage of resolution 2, why don't we just put the date that resolution 2 was passed?
that'd be too easy.
Yeah.
Okay. We can do
Okay.
that.
Next, what we got? What's the next thing?
Ms. Chandler, you want to point out 4 between 1 and 2?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're, moving 4.
Yeah, I've heard that, yep. What else?
Yes. Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
this is not with this, but I think this is when I can bring it up, but, you know, we have the Robert's Rules of Order as to how this is supposed to go, but we really don't do it, so we really need to look at it and go by this. We don't even do motions correctly, when you're looking at this. So, since we're doing the new resolution, then we need to do it like we're supposed to also.
Well, it's still referenced Robert's rules in here, doesn't it?
The
Yeah,
last
but
time,
it's still referenced the Robert's Rules of Order, yeah.
the last time we touched on this and did nothing with it years ago, the lawyer expressed that you do your own thing. Robert's Rules is a guideline for how you can do it. You can change this, change that, suit your own needs.
Well, yeah,
Dallas
but
is
if we
different
put,
from
if
here.
we have in there that we're going by Robert's Rules of Orders too, then we should do it. And when I've gone to the, Texas Municipal League conferences and stuff, that, I mean, this is what they tell us that we need to go by. So, I mean, doesn't matter to me, but if we're doing Robert's Rules of Order, we need to do what we say we're doing.
Well, then we would just toss this out.
No, that's not
No,
true.
no.
No,
We keep what we have, but we just need to follow Robert's rules. We all need to sit down and read that and maybe have our own little training class on how we're supposed to be making motions and that kind of thing.
So your recommendation, we should table this until we.
no, I think we should, I mean, this doesn't, I'm just saying they go together, but this isn't put into this. So, yeah, we can still,
I don't wanna pass this and send it to lawyers if we're just gonna.
we're not gonna add to it. I'm just saying it says that we go by, no, I mean, the agenda and everything is just exactly the same.
Okay.
It's just there's some things that we don't do correctly
Okay.
when we're doing this. So I think we need to do that. For instance, we say, I make a motion. Well, I'm told that's a real big no-no. I move to, or I move that. And then you have discussion, you have a motion, that's your motion, then a second, and then discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We tend to do a lot of discussion before we do motions.
Yeah.
We have gone back numerous times and had discussion after,
Yeah.
when somebody wants to raise an issue or something.
Yeah.
Joe?
That's exactly what I was going to point out, is that typically you as a mayor read the line item, or our staff can, whoever we decide, and then it's complete and utter silence until someone on council makes a motion, and then someone seconds. And my training is even is a second, it's an acknowledgement
Yep, yep.
of that motion.
It is.
You know, they don't have to second, and then discussion
Then
starts.
any further discussion on it. Yeah.
Correct, and then once the discussion's over, you move to make a vote. So I think, yeah, you pointed it out, we tend to discuss, as we're doing now. This resolution came up, and we're all discussing right now,
Yeah.
and no one's made a motion to make an amend of this, or,
I'm still waiting for everybody to go through and see if they get any other changes they want to. Anybody else found anything else in there that you don't care for, or want to change, or add to, delete?
Did you make any other last minute changes that you did on the last one?
I didn't make any last minute changes last one.
Well, not the last one, the first time that we discussed this, when you decided to remove the line for other councils and that, to come up and talk to us.
Under what?
Is it still in? Update for board committees, including special committees. Well, the first meeting that we had discussing this resolution.
That was being
Right, but after,
reworded.
but at when, yeah, we discussed the language of that, everybody agreed it was supposed to be in there. The next copy we got was removed because you didn't want it in there.
I never said it more in there.
Well, who removed it? Janice?
We went over verbiage and all that,
Yes.
and one of them was covered under the other one.
There were two things, and you said, we don't need that, we don't need that, took them out. There have been no changes since this was presented at the last meeting, and you all reverted
Right, I
everything
just wanna make
back.
sure, so. You remember doing that
And
now?
these
After,
are
when
two
after the council
very
meeting, the
I
next?
remember
the
the old
next
business
day?
and new business was being consolidated.
That I can.
No, she just told you you had that removed. And now you're gonna deny it?
I'm not denying it, I said I don't recall it, this has been months ago.
Okay, I
Right.
move that we accept the resolution 157,
With the change.
With the amendments? Amendments?
with the amendment. No?
I'll second. Any further discussion on it? We got a motion and a second.
I much rather have a clean version in front of me before we make a motion to approve with any exceptions. I think we need to move from that, way of business. Question to that though, if you get 2 minutes, you update it, does it go against the Open Meetings Act to where we didn't get this in a timely manner, the day of posting?
Yes.
So we can't do that. So that's my only discussion, is I know that there's already a motion and a second, but that's a further discussion that I had, is if the amendment is done and is provided to us now, the change technically, even being one letter, one word, there is a revision to this and it's being handed to us after the day of posting of the agenda. That's my reading of the law, and I believe also what the attorneys have said, that it all has to be sent with the supporting docs the day of posting.
Well, what Julie has told us in the past, and Cameron and Will, was that if you make minor changes, you pass it in your verbiage is contingent that it comes back
Right,
from
and
the
so,
lawyer.
again, so the motion is, you asked if there was further discussion, so
Yeah.
the motion's still to do it, contingent to changes, there's a second. I'm just adding my 2 cents for
Okay,
the
no,
discussion.
absolutely.
I'm just one vote, I'm just one voice,
Oh.
right? So ultimately what the rest of council decides to do. That's it.
No, not
I think that stems from, you making your changes from the first time. After
How do you all
that.
wanna vote on it? We got a
Sorry.
motion and a second. If we vote it down, then you can make another motion to send it back to the attorney and then come back to us. Well, we finished discussion?
Yes, I'm done, thank you.
Okay,
Thanks for
okay, so
getting that.
then- We have a motion and a second. What's the vote? Yes? Yeses?
Yes with revisions.
Yes.
Yes.
No? Cindy?
Say no.
No?
No.
No. Okay, we got,
3-3, you get your
Three,
It's
tiebreaker.
you, it's you.
this is a landmark moment here. No. Vote no, send it back so that it comes back clean and everybody can be happy that way. Okay, next one. Discuss, consider, and act on ordinance 395 regarding the event center properties and authorizations.
Okay, so special use permits are a zoning tool used when a particular land use is not permitted by right under the zoning ordinance, but may be allowed if specified conditions, standard, or performance criterias are satisfied. The use is authorized through the zoning process itself rather than through enforcement. Because a special use permit is granted as part of the zoning framework, any modification, expansion, or removal of the permit generally requires the city to follow the new zoning process, including notice, public hearing, and other procedural requirements in this, to the zoning action. So any changes that is done to that ordinance, it's a total new process. It has to go through, the application has to be made, and it has to go through planning and zoning before it comes to us.
Okay, I guess the only question I had is why wouldn't it have been brought up 2 months ago when we first had this in front of us? Is this new information we get?
This is the first time we've had it, that we've discussed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
Yeah, no,
Just a reminder, Mayor, so we actually received the ordinance, I think, the day after posting, so no one even reviewed it or even talked about it. So as we got it for this posting, then people took the time from Wednesday forward to start reviewing and
I'm
questioning.
just asking if it was available, and maybe in the future we need to just send that to Janice so we have it in advance. So
No,
we know
I
this
just-
is forthcoming.
No, I haven't held on to this, no, I
Oh, I
just
didn't
got
say what, I
this,
just
yeah.
wanted one to come up. No, Janice, please, start the whole process over again. See, if you give it,
That's from-
if you give it
that's-
to Janice.
Yeah, I'll give her a copy of it. It's from TML.
The zoning is not changing. There's nothing about
It's-
zoning changing.
No, but it's, oh, never mind.
No, well,
No.
you can, because you're up on speed on what it is.
Oh.
Explain it to her.
A special use permit is usually, with us, it comes with an ordinance that tells you how you can operate your business under the special use permit. If any of that is changed, it has to start over. You can't just amend it, you can't just change it. It becomes a new thing. It has to do the same process that it did at the very beginning.
So how come it wasn't amended before?
Because evidently somebody did it incorrectly.
Experience matters.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the lawyers that sent that back, so we don't need smart comments in the council meeting.
Well, I mean, I think probably the lawyer sent it back because it was an ordinance, but I'm not sure that they knew the whole picture of it, that it was under, this ordinance was the guidelines to a special use permit.
And when we did it the first time and then the second time.
Well, the first time, it went through that process
Yes.
because I was here in the audience. I saw it go through, go through that process.
correct.
But the second process, it didn't, because I never knew about it, and it should have been a public hearing on that one also.
Was that 404 or what?
No, that was
what
the-
ordinance was that?
That was
303?
357 or something. The 303 was the very
Original.
first one, yes.
See,
And it did go through that process.
when we sent it out to the lawyer, we asked for
The
recommendations
second
on
one's
what to follow, how to do it. I mean, I think you tell Janice that we need to go back to it again, and we just
Well,
didn't do it.
you know, I just think probably, it's just, when you say I'm amending an ordinance, they don't, the attorneys say, okay, this is how you do it, but we're not, we're amending the guidelines to a special use permit.
I looked at them, but they should be telling us that.
Well, I agree, I agree.
So I agree with you, Mayor. I think our attorneys could do a better job. We are a smaller town. I know we're not their big fish in the pond that they service, but they should treat us as if we don't know what we're doing, you know, and I hate to say that, and me especially. But yeah, they took the assumption that we knew that we were gonna have a whole new application process, that we may have already gone through that. So, but I agree with you. I don't know if that's something you wanna have a discussion with the attorneys, or if not, maybe we need to look at getting a different attorney.
I mentioned it before that they need to catch all the dots on the i's and t's, because this isn't Dallas. We have a
Right,
department
right.
that specializes in this.
Right.
It's all volunteers, and nobody can be expected to know it all.
I think Joey had a good point about maybe looking for a new attorney.
Sorry, that wasn't on here. I shouldn't have added that.
Yeah.
That
No.
was not on the agenda.
It's, I know. Okay, so,
We need to table it?
yeah,
Do we need to move to table it?
I make the motion to table ordinance 395. I move that we
Second.
table ordinance 395.
It's gonna take a while to learn.
It's gonna take a while,
to
yeah,
it.
get you out of it, yeah.
okay, we need a second.
I'll second. Oh, he said, Chris already seconded it.
Yeah, Chris already seconded it.
Any discussion on this? Everybody agreement? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This is tabled until we have answers back from, and follow proper procedure.
Why doesn't the city save up money and buy our property all for one so you don't have to like deal with us anymore? 'Cause this is all ridiculous. You wanna have a city park? There's a city park that you guys can buy for a few $1 million. Go for it.
Okay, moving on to E, discuss, consider, and act to approve special election order on May 2nd, 2026 for 2 council seats in Ward 4 and questions on the reduction of the tax rate for 2025.
Once again, this came out late with new numbers on it.
I move the table this to the next meeting.
I second.
Sorry, you already seconded, didn't get to
Well, I mean, I didn't look at it.
Discussion.
Discussion, it would be nice if we, some of these items that we're getting after the day of posting, and I know they're being tabled, if they could get sent again in the email for the following agenda items. I don't know if it's too much to ask.
For what?
So like on one of these resolutions, I know we had received it late the last time, and I think your email had said, hey, you already have it. It would benefit me, and hopefully I'm not the only council member, but if that could just be re-included again in that email, so. Cool.
Okay, what did that have to do with this?
That's just discussion, so I should have made it part of my motion. I apologize for not making it part of my motion to table, but with a restriction that is added. It's already a motion in a second, so
Yeah, no,
we'll pass over discussion.
Well, for discussion, I mean, catch me up, what are we missing on this one?
There was a change in the actual amount from the valuation, I believe, the 1.49. And no fault of our staff. I think this was sent late from the county or the CAD, if I read the email correctly. So this is no fault of our staff. You know, unfortunately, it just came a day late.
Okay.
Yeah, that's and we have plenty of time because this is.
We're good.
Yeah, that's it.
That's all me.
Any more discussion on it? Okay, everybody for? Table it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, any against?
No.
We have 1 no. Discuss, consider, and act on ordinance 397, providing amendments to chapter 6 of the Code of Ordinances regarding health and sanitation. So who's on that?
This has to do with your drainage ditches,
Yeah.
Tammy, and kind of wrapped just a little bit of the other end with it, but it was part of that whole health and sanitation. Or it's one of it.
Is this the one that had all the red lines on it?
This is the,
Yes.
Yes.
or, yes.
Yeah, see, down here we go to.
Duties of the owner. This would be what we would want to include and let people know that they need to take care of their ditches, and that includes the creeks, and, it's got to do with cuttings and brush and everything else too from the roadways.
So we're substituting the duty of the owner for the property maintenance? Is that what we're doing?
I think it just cleans up the language that was in there before.
That's what the lawyer said they were gonna do, put it more layman's terms, so that's argument from people when
Trying to
they
give
ask
a
for the
little
code
more-
section.
I didn't see anything that jumped at me.
Motion, sir.
I think that's it.
Do I have a motion on this?
I move that we approve ordinance 397.
I'll second.
Any discussion on it? Joe?
Yes, sir. One of the discussions that I had in reading, so the accumulation of debris in the drainage ditches is fine, the high grass and weed. My problem was with the first paragraph, accumulation of trash and debris on the property. There was no limitation or verbiage that I've seen before on some other ordinances that says visible by street. It just says in general that there should be no accumulation of filth, brush, tree limbs, building materials not intended for immediate use. That's another question is, what do we consider immediate use? So to be a little more, I guess, explaining a little more what that is considered immediate use, and then also putting some kind of verbiage in there that says visible from street. Because as it's written, I don't see where, it's just in general saying you can't have any, like you can't have a pile of dirt or a pile of gravel, or you have some bricks that you haven't necessarily put around your garden bed. The way it's written here, in my interpretation, is that you could get a violation or citation just for simply not getting your weekend project done, you know, for whatever reason, being baseball games, weather delays, not having the time. And then the fact that it doesn't have any limitations to visible from the street. That's my discussion on this part of it. The rest of it seemed was okay with me.
You know, the visible from street part, the code enforcement isn't gonna do anything unless it's visible from the public right of way. So if it was in your backyard behind your fence or something, it wouldn't be seen anyhow.
And somebody's gotta complain.
Right. That was just my concern. This is
No,
the discussion.
I hear you, I just.
And then
we're not
after,
HOA, and we'll have somebody walking around the streets all day trying to find stuff to complain about.
and if they complain, don't they have 10 days or whatever to
Well,
take care of it?
Yeah,
Once
you-
code compliance goes out there?
It's generally 14 because they come one day a week, so you
Yeah.
get 14. And then they come back and they talk to you, they assess your situation. If you know you're gonna be an extra week, they work with you. It's more like Bob Matthews, that they work with people, they don't just start slapping fines on them until the time to start slapping fines on them.
Okay. That was just my discussion part of it. Just the foresight if we ever do go to a not complaint driven, but you know have an actual code officer driving around. The way it's written is not limiting to visible from the road.
Well, the state law says it has to be visible from the public right away. I question that. The guy that used to write the state law is, at the time, 4 years ago, head of it for Fairview, came back in retirement redoing all their code thing. That's what we got, somebody's gonna have a wedding, you go up on their great big, you know, deck out back, you can see the guy's 10-foot fence next door, and he's got a junkyard there. I'm like, well, you can invite code enforcement up to see it from your perspective. That's what they say, can only be public right away. He goes, I wrote the rule. The wrong, asked Bob. Bob said that's not his training, so that didn't go anywhere.
That's good. But
Anybody else?
I don't
We
know
got
if
a
there's,
motion and a second?
hey, I don't know if there's any other kind of language that we can put in there for code enforcement to go knock on somebody's door and ask to go check their culvert or something.
I think they can do it already, but I don't see anybody letting them do it, you know, coming in and looking at their property. If they, I guess they could knock on the door, so we gotta let them on their property, then they'll see it then, it's a violation. I don't see people letting them on their property.
Or complaint, or
Well, if somebody calls and complains about it, and then talking to them, they think there's a whole lot more behind the fence, and they ask, and people let them back there, then that's a violation then, they physically see it, like several other things that we've done in the past. Any more discussion? Got a motion and a second, all in favor? Any opposed?
opposed?
Joe's opposed. What would you like to vote?
Did I say anything? Yes.
You second.
I used to catch the nose. Okay. G, discuss, consider, and act on ordinance 398, amending building permit requirements and fees.
So is this the ordinance that we asked to be updated based on feedback from Not PNZ, Board of Adjusters, Board of Adjustments. Okay.
This is what they came up with?
I don't know if they proposed anything. I know we asked for the penalties to have a little bit more bite because as it stands now.
She's the attorney.
This was the attorney, we spoke with the attorney on the phone.
Okay.
Yes.
It's, the penalty is 3 times the permit now.
Right.
Plus, you still have to pay for the permit.
Right, okay.
Before they were doing just twice the permit fee and not doing the permit.
Which again, there's a property right now that's in violation of this. Is that right? Yeah, for sure.
Which one?
Or Richmond, or Langston.
Yeah, yep. Yep, notice was, cease and desist work order was,
Did they get a permit for the dirt work and everything else that they're
We
doing?
don't have dirt work permits. We don't have grading permits. You guys have never wanted to add a grading permit.
for pad sites for house and
'Cause,
compaction.
well, yep, that's correct. We have not. Now, they need to get with us on what they're doing, and we know they shoved stuff in the creek, and that was a no-no, but they haven't actually got to the point where they totally required a permit yet, unless they put in a culvert for a driveway or gravel or anything. If they've done any of that, then they're in violation,
Because we never put nothing in the
because we never put anything
Permits
in
and
our
fees
master fees for grading.
silt fence or clearing or anything, nothing.
You said they have a cease and desist?
We did not.
Come to get permits and all that. They've done everything they're gonna do. They've been back every while at us. We put the red tag about coming to get permits and apply and, if there's a plat or
But they
something.
don't need a permit yet?
We know that they dumped stuff in the creek.
They need a permit for that?
They've pushed
No,
stuff
they
into
can't do
the.
it.
I know they
Can't.
can't
Well,
do
that's
it,
a-
but I'm asking what they need a
can't.
permit for, why'd we tell them to stop working if they don't need a permit for anything yet?
It's just a standard
That's the
red tag they put
city
up. They come in to let them know it's doing a plat on the land, a building, let them know that they need all this.
Okay. Yeah, I move that we approve ordinance 398, amending building permit requirements and fees.
Got a motion, do we got a second?
A second.
Cindy seconds. Any discussion on it?
Just reading this ordinance, pointing out that, looks like paragraph C says no building or other structure shall be erected, moved, added, or structurally altered within the city limits without a building permit. Therefore issued by the city, no building permit shall be issued except for in conformity with the provisions of this chapter and all separate constructions. My concern with the verbiage of it saying no building or structure, this is almost requiring the citizens to obtain a permit for just about anything that they do in their backyard. I think we need to determine what the definition of structure is. If you just Google AI it, structure states anything that would have a type of imprint on the property, doing in specific, say a person wanted to do a garden to feed their family, they would require a permit to have the structure, to alter the structure, to move it. I just don't like the way it's written because it's almost putting some of the government on our citizens and saying, hey, you need to get a permit for anything you decide to do on your property. That was my first one. And the second one is I'm fine with triple the standard permit fee. The fact that we're removing the requirement to maximum for the penalty, my question is it lawful and why are we removing like the actual cap? Can we just raise the cap to 500?
That's a Janice question from talking to lawyers.
So my question was on the where it says double or triple for commercial and then double or triple for residential. Line 3, S3 says requirements maximum 500 per permit. Looks like we're redlining that, and I read it as we're no longer going to have a cap for fines.
Well,
Is-
that would be correct. I mean, if we had, if you had somebody that was, let's say you put up a 40 by 40 building in your backyard on a slab with electric and water and, you know, HVAC in there for a big man cave, and you did that without a permit, and that would have been, say, $1,000. Well, your triple your fee penalty would be $3,000. So you don't want a $500 maximum cap when you're gonna get when it would be a $3,000 fee.
Okay, so my question was,
Is that,
no, it does make sense while we redline this. So my question still stands, is it lawful? And then do we need, instead of redlining it, to change the verbiage to be no higher than triple the amount of, you know, something like that? But it almost seems as if we're completely negating a cap for fees. Or maybe we can add the verbiage to say the cap is triple the standard permit fee for residential, triple, you know what I mean? So just don't redline it and leave it open for anyone. So that's my question, is one, is it lawful? So can we ask the attorneys if we haven't already, is it lawful?
well, the attorney wrote this.
The attorney wrote this,
The
okay,
attorney
so-
wrote
so
this.
you would hope that the attorney, again, they assumed that we knew the process of
The attorney wrote
application.
this.
Right,
So,
and then, again, so another example, say I go decide to build a fence because it's considered a structure, using T-posts, following our fencing ordinance around my garden to keep the rabbits out, and I didn't get a permit, I then went against this, so now I will have to pay triple the residential fee for the permit for fencing, and then there's no cap on that, when again, it's nothing, nothing extraneous, it's keeping rabbits out of my garden. So again, just the way it's written, saying no building or other structures, that's my concern.
But isn't that, I mean,
Yeah,
the
our building
fencing is in the front of
specifies.
your house.
No, so in the definition of structure, if you look it up, right, because it's not defined here, it says a fence could be considered a structure. It could say anything that's erected is considered a structure.
But aren't our permits for fences in the front of our house? It's not for the back of our house.
No, it's fencing
Is
period.
it both?
Whether it be
Yeah.
T-posts, whether it be
Yes.
chicken wire, whether it be hog wire, you're required to get a permit, even if it's completely see-through. You're required to get a permit. That's the way it's written currently. And with this, adding this and saying building or structure, with it having loosely, a tyrant could go and read this and just go to town on it and saying fee, no max fee, no max fee, no max fee. That's my concern. Again, we're in the discussion part. We already have a motion in a second. I didn't want to make the motion to completely negate this, because I think it's needed for, again.
Yeah, but if they came in and they wanted a permit for that, I mean, I think the thing is our residents need to know they need a permit for things. And not to listen to the neighbor saying you don't need a permit.
do whatever.
So do whatever you want. So they come in here and say, I'm putting a fence around my garden and I need a permit. Well, they're gonna say, you don't have to have a permit for that.
Isn't that the way our fencing ordinance is written? That's my only
Any,
concern.
any structure is kind of vague too, so, I mean, if I wanna put up a small, you know,
That's my only concern. So whether
tractor
we
supply,
define
chicken
structure,
coop, you know,
because I try to
wheel
look
around
around.
the yard. If you get another beehive, is that considered a structure?
No.
That's what I'm saying, that's where it's foggier.
Yeah, it's not defined, and I didn't see the word structure. I tried to look it up on our E360, the definition of structure excluding. Another thing, in the last administration with Bob, we worked very hard to make sure that greenhouses would never be included. We the government, would never limit our citizens on what they can and can't grow for their families. But if we decide to do a temporary greenhouse, if a citizen does for the winter seasons, technically it's a structure that's been erected without a permit. So now you're looking at triple the fees, and now you're looking at no cap on the fines.
One of the other ordinance that you did you ever go through with that about allowing greenhouses?
We ended up, the decision ended up just to be to define what a greenhouse was. But the intent would be that we would never go after our citizens for a greenhouse if they're doing it to
But
feed their
that's in
families.
another ordinance.
We never did that ordinance, but again, so that was the intent back then, but now doing it in here, putting it in this ordinance, putting the word structure, would then say, hey, now you as a citizen need a permit to erect even a temporary greenhouse, because it's a structure.
If you read section 5 of the repealer clause, this is in effect, and it leans on all other ordinances in the city. Had that other one been put in place about the greenhouses, that would have superseded anything that's here. along with every other ordinance we have, as far as like the one we have that, you need a building permit on a shed 100 square feet or bigger. Under that, you don't need one. So that would supersede this in your repealer clause. I understand what you're saying, and
Yeah.
someone would have to be nitpicking and be a lawyer and find a
Well,
way to
I mean-
charge somebody with it.
That's my only concern is it seems, the perception seems as if we're now going to start, not nitpicking, but putting the thumb of the government on our citizens. You have to get a permit for just about everything.
Well, this says a structure is the way parts of something are arranged, organized, or connected to form a whole, like a building, body, or sentence, or it can refer to physical construction itself. Essentially, it's the framework or makeup of something, whether physical, a bridge, or an abstract, a family system, or a poem.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty, I mean, I thought in the building, when we changed those other ordinances, I thought we were very specific about it has to be over a certain amount of square footage for it to qualify as a building to begin with.
Correct. And under our ordinance, if it doesn't qualify for permit,
Yeah,
then
then it
the
doesn't.
repealer clause would catch that.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, again, I understand that I want as little government in my day-to-day business as anyone else. I don't think that's this section here, but that's just me.
I think it's a little vague myself. If I alter structure, so if I had 3 more boxes on the outside of my chicken coop, do I need to come out here and get a,
If it's over 100 by 100 square feet,
let's say it is.
then yeah, you do.
So I'm gonna put 3 more boxes on the outside of my chicken coop and I need to come in here and get a permit.
If it's over 100 by 100 square
I
feet,
think that's a little.
no,
That's
I hear you.
that's
but
been
that's
in the, that's been in the rules since, city was started. I think 100 square foot is in general what everybody does. They touch 100 square foot or bigger, need a
It's
permit.
200,
Huh?
it's 200
200.
square.
2 by 200 square feet. Something is
That was my discussion.
Yeah, no, I heard you.
I think that needs better clarification. Thank you.
Okay, so you can
We got a
vote no,
motion.
we back up and punt and make a motion to send it back to the lawyer.
Well, you have a motion and a second on the table.
Yeah, if it doesn't pass, then we can come back again, so. Everybody voting no, raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. 3 and 3 again.
So,
Well, the record says here in Lowry Crossing. No. So it goes back for clarification. If you could express it to Janice a little more.
I'll email you all my questions. Cool.
If you don't mind.
We have just, can I say something?
Yes.
There are multiple definitions under structure in our ordinance. This structure, floodplain management purposes, an apartment structure, same parcel as others. It's got to do with whether it's insured or not, historic structures, residential structures, dangerous structures, non-conforming uses and structures. I mean, we're structured out in here if you use the
And
lookup.
I did the search.
So, in there, so there are a lot of things with structure.
That the repealer clause, section 5 would catch all that. These people on that stuff about putting a little fence around your garden or keep your rabbits out or something like that. He'd like clarification on it. Others agreed, so let's ask the lawyer. Discuss, consider, and act on the bid for park furnishings, benches, tables, trash cans, pet cleanup station. Have anybody from the park advisory board here?
So you asked for, but you asked for additional bids. I had sent this out to at least 6 others. I got back 2. As you see, the one presented to you in December, the Warlick bid, was still considerably lower, almost by half than even one of them that responded. So
Are these the same item?
they are the same items in each of their, but yes, they're the same. They
So-
are apples and apples.
And these are the ADA compliant one, the round one, the seats on 3 sides, wheelchair at the other side of the large one, large picnic table.
Do we know why the other two Playground Solutions, Adventure Playground, didn't quote us for the 2 flat top lids or the 2?
There's a, Warlex bid theirs separately and they're combined. They all just say a trash can system on the others. So theirs is all together. They have lids, they have the liners. It's all
So the 2
one.
trash cans?
Yes,
So the 2 trash cans,
And then you could have the
where
lids.
Whirlix has those 3 different items, is the same as Playground Solutions.
they
and
just
Adventure
price them
having-
individually
Okay.
instead of one combined price. The others did combined price.
Okay.
Yes.
$600 for a trash can.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
one that
And-
is supposed to last, I'm sure, with kids and people and teenagers that want to be,
Next life stage.
teenagers.
Well, when you think about the price of a round picnic table or a square picnic table, you're going, oh my gosh.
Well,
this is
I can
what-
see that because they gotta be vandal proof and
But they're
Yeah, but so does the
commercial
trash
grade, so
cans,
they're
yeah.
gonna last.
we're talking about, additions out to the park, smaller picnic table, ADA compliant, people with wheelchairs on, and a larger picnic table, you know, one of each at this time, and trash cans, so everybody can throw their stuff in there, so they're just on the ground. That's what we're looking at now, the bids that came in on it, in a bike rack for the kids,
2 more benches.
pet play station, couple benches.
Tell them what the prices are.
Yeah. Hold on real quick though. It's just, this is crazy to me that Whirlwigs, I just want to make sure we're not going to get like a, you know,
They have like
the $200 pet way station is going to be like this versus the others that's
No,
$400 and
and the
$1,500.
world, no,
That's
and
crazy.
that's, they didn't even, that's just adding a pet waste station that we found that was not from Warlex. They did not have pet waste stations.
Do they have
But
like
I presented it to you with their stuff last time. I was wondering.
Yeah.
Okay, did the Parks Board see the stuff that you were getting bids on? So did they say, yes, that's what we're talking about? Did they agree on what it was?
On the
that-
items? Yes, yes.
Okay.
They did.
I was gonna have the same thing.
Good.
Yeah.
These picnic tables, are these be able to be secured to the ground somehow, or does that come with it?
We
I
picked,
hate
we
to see
did,
somebody just roll our table away during the night.
I don't think, let's see.
When I
what
looked
we
at the
got.
model of the head, it was concreted in the ground. That's 4 middle legs.
These were not,
It's
I don't
concreted
think,
in.
intended to be concreted, they were intended to be set so that we can make sure we, like where they're at, but I'm sure we can anchor them in. These were the ones where you have one pole that gets concreted 5 feet in the ground. No, these were not.
The model number I looked up, it showed 4 legs being concreted in. That was on the small one.
Not on this.
I had called City of McKinney, City of Frisco, and Collin County and asked to talk to people in their parks and all stuff about us piggybacking on it. I talked to one, the City of McKinney, they're getting ready to put in a big order. So they said, yeah, we got great prices. They said, just have somebody get hold of us. I was just wondering if the park board had called other jurisdictions and asked them where do you get it from, and City of McKinney has orders going up for 3 playgrounds. They have a complete portfolio on it with pictures, what it is, description, the prices. She said, yeah, you can piggyback on ours and just pick it up when it comes in, or you can use the thing and buy it, yourself. I didn't know if anybody reached out to neighboring jurisdictions for better prices. I know at the Parks Board meeting, I was at one of them, I told them if they got all this together, they found the best price. If they put it up on Nextdoor and Facebook, Lowry Crossing Ccity asking somebody if they'd like to adopt one, they didn't pay for it. I told them I'd take a small one, as long as they put it out for everybody to see if anybody wanted to sponsor one. Well, I'm in for what? $11.40. $1,140, as long as that was my stipulation, they put it out on the internet, so, I mean, there's people at businesses here, people like to adopt them, you know, have a little brass plaque, you know, donated by, you know, Fat Kelly, donated by whoever else has business, like to pay for on a bench, you know, like you put your name on a trash can or the dog station. Somebody wants to adopt one, you know, a nice little brass plaque with your name.
Shirts provided by.
There you go. I think we're, I don't think we're ready for the decision, but there's not too many.
Janice, is that what it looks like? The one that-
That's one of the tables. That's the square one. All you do is just not put one of the sides and say, there's the round
That's,
trash.
that's one for them.
All right, it's going through a cycle instead of what I'm trying to get it to show.
They don't say it is, but you can do it.
And that's kind of what they have with the community over there.
To where they
What
can
about
get
the
to
high
at
school
least one of the
benches?
seats.
Well, they have
You
the
only have to
cameras.
give them one.
Yeah.
What problem is it? Okay, so,
Yeah, I say we take one.
Alright, I move to table the bid for the park furnishing until we get
clarity on it.
yes.
Clarity on what? Could you please tell me exactly what you want clarity on?
Clarity on contacting other cities to see what's
Nobody's
taking back with
contacted
them.
other cities, and I'm one person, so maybe like the meeting.
I will
already-
contact others, I will contact other cities and see if we can piggyback on them. I'll do that. I don't have a problem with that.
Who, did anybody do that on the Parks Board? Anybody, somebody in charge of it volunteered for it?
Well,
Just
no.
until you were?
No, they're,
No,
they
we
all
didn't
work.
talk about that.
I mean, as far as hunting down all the different vendors and talking to them, getting prices, that was just all you?
Yes.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Oh, yeah, the board though.
Yeah, from the board.
Well, I used to be, so I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, it's the same reason there's no one here tonight to present this, which that was the ask last year. But.
Okay, so, we have most table, second. All in favor of tabling this?
Aye.
Sorry, who was
opposed?
the second?
I'm sorry.
Who was the second?
Me.
Chris, thank you, sir.
Aye.
Okay, table. All four. Sorry this is dragging out. This is a really large agenda. No, it's not this big. Okay. One we're all been waiting for, at least Trish has. Discuss, consider, an act to appoint Suresh Kumar to the Economic Development Corporation Board. Is he still here or did he fall asleep? Wake up, Suresh. I'm here. Wanna come on up and see how your stage fright is? If you could tell us name, what you do for a living, and
Sure.
how you can benefit us all.
Suresh Kumar, I'm an attorney, real estate attorney, and also a contract prosecutor for the federal and state government. Been involved with the city with Janice since 2000. So we have a client who owns a small, well, not small, it used to be about 90 plus 102 acres. Now it's down to 10 acres left. So that's my interaction with the city for a long time. So looking forward to volunteering for the city.
Okay, how are you?
I'm sorry, I didn't get your address.
Home address is 7495 Orchard Hill Lane, Frisco, Texas.
Frisco.
Yeah.
And can you touch on your experience with the 50 million developers you work with and bringing stuff to cities and
Yeah,
projects?
I've been in real estate here in Texas since '94. So most of my work is horizontal development for master plan communities and commercial development. So most of my commercial work is more bringing commercial entities like drugstores, discount tire. We've done some Aldi's project. Recently we did HEB in Frisco. So that kind of projects, and we've done one or two healthcare. All my healthcare work is through VA, And currently VA doesn't want to do any projects like that.
Of course not.
What's that?
So of course not.
Yeah, because it's, what cost me to $10 if it's a VA contract, everything adds up to $30. So sometimes it's 300-400% higher than what it costs for a private entity to do something. So part of the dodgy efforts, VS stopped permanently doing public-private partnerships, and also they have offloaded a lot of real estate. Just we offload, it's not we. Feds offloaded 11 projects right here in Dallas area, 11 buildings, including one high-rise building. It's just not effective for the feds to be involved in real estate anymore.
Is there like a practical way that you could benefit the EDC, just for everyone
Yeah, I can
here?
cover a lot of the legal stuff. I can definitely assist you in anything else, trying to bring big businesses to the area and ensuring sales tax revenue stays in the city.
Mhm.
Some of it's gray area, and ensure people don't speak out of turn, out of order, I should say. So I don't know who it is, but things like that should not be encouraged because it doesn't look good for the decorum. Like you said, move. Reason you move something is because it's a court of record. This is official record. Once you do something here, it's recorded by Janice. It's final. That's why you move. You move the new emotion. You do something. Somebody seconding it. So that's where that not expect to speak out of order. That's the signed up before you speak, and also it has to be on topic and not exceed 3 minutes. Most places don't allow more than 3 minutes for a speaker.
On rare occasions, sometimes you get bend a little bit just so temper's cool. Somebody has their say and leaves. And
that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
okay, so anybody like to make a motion to appoint Suresh?
I move to appoint Suresh Kumar to the EDC.
I'll say.
We have a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No discussion?
Excuse me?
No discussion?
Oh, I'm sorry. Discussion.
No offense to Suresh, your resume is impeccable. My only concern that I have is that you're not a legit resident of Lowry Crossing. I understand that he doesn't or doesn't have to be. I looked that up myself, but my concern is that he would have a take on what's going to happen to the citizens here at Lowry Crossing with EDCs and decisions that he makes. This is my discussion part of it.
Mhm.
So my concern is that he's not an actual resident of Lowry Crossing. I understand he represents a landowner. Even then, they don't live here in Lowry Crossing. But that's my discussion in 2 cents. But thank you, sir, for interrupting and adding that it doesn't have to be. That stretch doesn't have to be an actual resident. So I appreciate that. That's my discussion.
Okay. Anybody else discussion? Okay, we got a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed? Opposed.
2. Carries 4-2. Welcome, Suresh. You're on the EDC now. Thank you, sir. Okay, update on new city hall renovations.
Okay, so y'all got everybody got the timeline for this, so I'm really pleased that they're still on what they think is the 75 days, what they told us in the beginning. They still think that they're going to be able to get it done by then. I would tell anyone that would like to go over there and walk through you're welcome to. They've really firmed up the floors. They've done a good job. It's gonna look good, I believe. And but there are a few things that I need to go over. Is we need to pick what kind of skirting we want to have. The water heaters was not in the RFP because we just forgot them. And so what we have talked about is the under the counter water heaters. So because there's just 3 sinks, it's just basically washing your hands or whatever. I have gotten a price from More Supply in Denton for the Ream under counter 5-year warranty on heat exchanger, 1-year parts. It's a 12-degree rise. It does 0.9 gallons per minute. And with our tax, giving them a tax exempt form, it's $174.52 per unit.
Is there any way to,
No. I mean, no. I mean, yeah, no. It's one,
How many units are we expected to have?
3. 1 under each sink. Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be better just to have like a whole tankless?
$2,500 opposed to $600 about?
they can get.
Oh, yeah, uh-huh.
Big electric on demand.
And plus you have, I mean, electric, you do not, as a plumbing contractor, I would not recommend a large, regular size tankless water heater because of what it pulls. You can't recoup your price, what you pay for it. Gas is a different story, but not electric. And I did talk to, not only me, but I talked to Tom Swankle, which is here in Lowry Crossing, and he's a plumber also, and got his take on it. Huh?
You mean Tim?
Tim, what did I say? I don't know why I always call him Tom, but anyway.
Looks like Tom.
Yeah, I got his take on it also. It's not just mine.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've got decades of experience there, so we go with that.
And also, we need to decide on parking. We need to decide where the handicap ramp is going. On the plans, it has, where the front porch, it has the little, where you go up on the sidewalk and then you go around to the front door. We have that. So it could be there, or it could be right beside the front porch where it went up. Where they have it in the plans, they have it moved over. So you have this area here that's just, nothing's there. It's like a wasted space. So if you moved it over, so that's one thing we need to know if that's going to, where we want that. Janice had brought up the file cabinets. I did talk to him today. If you put all the fireproof file cabinets in your office, then of course they would be probably lined up on a wall. He would, and he can do this at the last minute, reinforce the floor. He can go under and reinforce the floor, so that won't be a problem. So the floor is going to have to be reinforced, especially if they're all there together. And so anywhere that they're at in the house. So we just need to decide where that's going. And then the other thing is, and I'm not going to look at Janice when I say this one, because she's probably not going to like it. But I have a concern about Angie's office, because Janice has her in the very front when you open the door. Scott and I went and measured what would be a normal size L-shaped desk, and I'm telling you, when they open the door, they're going to be standing right in her face. For safety reasons, I don't think that's safe for people just to be able to walk in on her. We had asked him about doing half doors on your office and the one that was going to be maintenance office. And if you position the desk, Scott brought up the fact that you could look out that door and you could see anybody that was walking in the front door. And then that means a place for David would have to be found, but that's the conference room, or even that little room that used to be the laundry room. I mean, actually this will fit in that, and a chair, and he's got a door that he could come in and out of. So that's not a major thing. But those are the kind of things that we need to decide on. Is there anything else, Scott, that you want to add to that?
No, I agree with the safety thing with Angie though, because some people do show up here and they're not very happy when they walk through the door. and it would like at least a little barrier between her and a disgruntled individual. So.
And that room is kind of a really.
It is straight line of sight right to the front door.
Yeah, and it is an odd shaped room when you think about it, because where the ADA bathroom is, you have to have a straight shot to that, so you really can't have anything in that line of traffic, is what I would say. So there is really only one spot that the desk can go in, and with the way the doors are situated in there, it just,
Doesn't make sense.
yeah, it doesn't work well. So,
So relegate David to the laundry room. And
well, he has his own,
He can fit 5 of those in there, doesn't mean it's bigger.
Or we get them power out to the barn again. And then
well,
we'll-
I did come and measure this, and then went and measured, and really, there's no issue. He can put shelves can go above the,
Well, there
The
are
desk.
3 L-shaped desks over in the storage unit,
yeah.
so.
So, I mean, and if he wanted a bigger area, the conference room, it's just he would have to leave if somebody was using it, but he's not there all the time. He wouldn't be in the office there all the time anyway. So, I guess I just need the okay to buy the water heaters, and then y'all can go and look and see what you think about these other things, the skirting and all of that. And, I mean, can you not text me and let me know your suggestions, and we'll go with the majority? We don't, I mean,
I'd lean toward vinyl. Those skirting around the bottom, it's just far cheaper and easy replacement, and have to do it.
does anybody else have any?
Yeah, I'm kind of with Pat on this one, vinyl.
Okay,
It's cheaper, it's easier to move, it's easy to replace.
yeah, I don't have a preference. That's not my thing, so are we okay with that? Are we okay with that? Okay.
The water heater thing, that's, I guess y'all get the count there, right? More.
Oh, no, I don't anymore, because I don't, but he's giving me the price that he would normally give me. I can just take a check to him, and I'll go pick it up. I mean, I'll just go pick them up and bring them when he's ready for them.
Well, you know the other boards right there.
Yeah, but they don't carry them.
Oh.
They don't carry
They don't
them.
do
They don't stock
store
them.
or ship them?
I'll just go. It's not.
Okay. Trying to make it easy.
I mean, I know, I've picked a lot up from there, but yeah, this is,
Yeah, I've
it's
had them
easy.
send stuff from one store to that store for me. so I
Yeah,
have to
oh
chase
yeah,
down there.
exactly. And the handicap ramp, do we
Can't
know?
expect you to know the picture.
I thought it was gonna be the stairs and handicap ramp would go in the middle of that, so it's just a straight shot and then turn it into the door.
Where the entrance is right now, is that what you're saying? The handicap ramp to go where you can walk in now? What-
No, not the little front steps, where you get the steps on the side and you make your angle around. That part of this part.
Okay, so we have, you walk in front of Janice's office, and then you make the turn, and then you go into the front door. I'm
Right.
talking about that little area where you walk up in front of
Oh, that's
Janice's
the one you wanna
office.
make?
No, I'm saying this is a suggestion.
Oh,
You use that one, or where that porch is right there, you go up against that porch and make the ramp to where it goes in up to the porch.
right, that's what I thought we were doing.
Okay, and that's fine, but see, in the plans, they've got it moved over. They've got it in the same area, but they've got it moved over, and then they've got dead space. I
Yeah.
think it would just look better if it was moved back up against the porch, so you don't have any dead space in there.
Gotcha.
So
It's pulled
that-
out
that
there,
you
if
build,
anybody
that's
wants
the
to
stairs
look
at
at
the
it.
end.
Okay.
They build in that door. You're
Okay,
talking about
I'm
putting the
saying
ramp
right here,
Right up
yeah.
against us.
Right up against that,
Perfect.
going in, right there.
Yeah, because you can support it off the house too.
Right,
Can,
back here instead of over here.
No, she's talking about it in front.
No, that's what we're talking about. Right here is where
We're
Janice's
showing
office
that you're
is.
talking
So
about
we're
putting it
talking
back
about,
over here.
no, it
Oh.
is, okay, so in the plan, okay, so this has it, the plans we have has it
Yeah,
moved
right,
over.
right.
Okay, so that's, it's basically,
I don't know why we haven't seen this,
Well, that's the porch, just put the ramp right here.
First
You've
time.
seen
Comes
it.
down onto the side. It's pretty simple, it's
The one that we have over
Not
there
the-
has a
not the
space in
wraparound
between
porch,
it
essentially, that's there now.
for some reason.
No, for today, it's just that they were talking about handicap ramp this way to get to these stairs.
So that looks like,
Yeah,
Yeah, there is a space on
Right
that.
up and enters it right here, and that's the door going in, and it closes this one off.
And there's no additional.
That one makes better sense there.
Concern that we have to do with the ramp.
Well, no, that, see, this gives you plenty of distance,
I know,
to make the ramp the right
this is
size.
gonna be closed off. So steps, this is gonna be closed off.
Yeah, yeah,
We're gonna
we'll
have separate ramp.
we'll just have separate rail lines, you can't all go, and then you have ramp, you have a rail.
But anybody can still walk up here and go around. We're not changing that.
So this is ramp to walk, and this is ramp.
And then not moving the front stairs.
No, those are stairs. People that can walk around, that's just for the handicap. That's just for the wheelchair ramp. But anybody else is gonna walk around and come in the front, or they're gonna walk through here and come in the front.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
I like that better road, so.
Mayor, as I appreciate all the information, I just want to point out that the line item says update on new city hall renovations, not motion or to make decisions on. Just,
Well, I thought all the extras that weren't in the contract were just fluid. She was asking for recommendations and then.
again, I'm fine either way, I'm cool with it, it's just the line item says update, didn't say.
Okay.
Okay, whatever. Will you put it on, can we put it on the agenda for next, time to approve the,
Purchase of 3 water heaters.
approve the water heaters at that time? I mean, we'll just have to have him put the wiring in, and then if we don't approve it, then we'll just have to plug there.
Cold water.
Yeah, they'll get cold water.
Well, the only reason why is because it's unbudgeted, the replacement of the ramp is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's not a-
And the
I was just under the impression, I wasn't here when you did. I was under the impression that they had a contract for so much and everything else was, as you went, when they figured it out, things working someplace, don't work another, like her desk and it was just fluid and it flowed.
That's fine.
Well,
She's
this-
just asking for
But
directions
then-
where to put it.
Yeah.
Okay, but on the water heaters, that's not in the bid. Because Scott and I have really, they've worked with us and we've made little changes here and little changes there so that we're not getting an extra, change order or anything, so.
Oh yeah, it's fluid, you just
Yeah.
move around because working on historic
But
structures.
but
things
the
don't
water
work the way you
heaters were
want.
not even, they were not even bid, so that was just, we knew that from the very beginning, that there would be an extra for that. So
Okay,
we're
so-
just going the cheapest way, but,
So
so this needs to be on the agenda
everything
for
else
next
works
time,
Except for water heaters, we'll get it on the 27th.
right,
And these are electric, right? These
Yes.
water heaters?
yes.
Go off the page from their website, shows
I can do the water heaters, I can have a
Yeah,
picture
that
of
way
them,
they can see what they're doing.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Is that your update? Anything else?
Anything else?
Anything else?
Okay.
Nope.
Going once?
We're good.
Going twice? Meeting is adjourned.
No, we got one.
No, we
No,
got.
no,
What did I miss?
more.
What did I miss? Oh, okay, yeah, my fault. Sit back down. Update on public safety process.
We'll make this quick. You have the sheet of, so whatever, get from the horse's mouth from Sheriff Skinner, they did not do away with IRLs for everybody, interlocal agreements. They dissolved them all for everybody because nobody was paying for them and they figured out you have to cover our area anyway. This is the new interlocal agreements that they have. This is what Lucas used. So if you want an interlocal agreement with them, this is what it's gonna cost you for the first year. But it will be do you not have one?
I got this.
Yeah, that's it. So that's what it costs you for the first year, depending on what experienced officer you want. And you buy the vehicle.
But this isn't an interlocal.
No, this is what this would be what
The
it
new
would
interlocal.
cost you for the interlocal agreement. For the first year.
What do they do with
You
the
got-
other car we bought?
We never bought them a car, we never had that kind of interlocal agreement. We were just paying for the time to come out and hang
Yeah,
out.
we paid for like half a car.
Yeah, we paid.
Where's that, I mean, what were you paying a year?
30.
For $30,000, you're not buying anywhere near close to half a truck.
I mean, I just have a car, cause it's 60 grand, but.
If you can come up with something else, Janice, but as far as your records show, they don't have anything.
Well, I'm sure we paid for it.
I mean,
I don't know
it
if
would
it's a
be
whole or
more
half,
out by
but-
now anyway, because this is several years.
It's probably in the
Yeah.
landfill.
Yeah. So, this is the other option to starting your own PD. Sheriff Skinner wanted to go through a bunch of things with us to make sure we had everything up to date, that we're going line by line, we're following the right numbers and that kind of thing. And he is behind us 100%, whichever way we decide to go. Anything else?
No, I mean, again,
Elaborate on that?
yeah, I think the biggest thing is that, I mean, what we're looking for is if let's just say that we go to Collin County and say, hey, we want to get into an agreement from a cost perspective, it's gonna cost us just short of $340,000 a year to have a Collin County.
This is for year one.
Yes, I know.
Year two will be
It'll be a little bit
without the
less.
price of
That's
the
right.
truck.
Yes,
Yeah.
but again, yeah. Regardless, it's still. I mean, year one will be 340. Year two, it's going to be minus $90,000. But it's still going to be pretty expensive to have our own dedicated deputy for the city, right? So again, the flip side is that if we have our own dedicated deputy, they're
enforcing Lowry Crossing.
Yes,
Stay
so
in Lowry
ordinances,
Crossing unless you're
speed.
priority one.
Yeah.
All the tickets will come to us through us. So,
So
it'll be in our
yeah,
courts.
there's some benefit there if we contract through the
But
county.
it's only 40 hours a week.
That's right.
And this is what Lucas did for a couple of years. That's why they had 4 cars to start off with.
I think John had a question.
My question, if I can direct you to Scott. My question is, so if I'm reading this correctly, so the price of one officer during 40 hours could be 8 to 5, could be in the midnight hours.
We were told that we could
tell them
we can select hours. We can't go, you're gonna be here for 3 hours in the afternoon, 3 hours in the evening, 3 hours early morning. It's gonna be a shift. When the shift starts, we can start it at 10 to 6 or whatever you wanna do.
10 or 12 hours just that they do.
And then my next question is, so at this price, for $334,000 for the maximum top tier officer, right, versus just your mid grade, what is this equivalent to us having our own police department with? I think we were looking at 2 officers and 1 reserve.
Right, well, we figure we're pretty much starting everything for about $600K. It's gonna cost us $350, $340, depending on where you wanna go. They recommended middle of the road officer. You do not want a rookie. He emphasized that over and over again. You do not want a rookie out here. You want somebody with some experience. That's why we were thinking middle of the road guy.
But I thought you had also, we were able to shave off some of that $600,000 for the startup, and then $300 for the
Yeah,
remaining
because
years.
we were finding cars for donated by other police departments. It's still gonna cost us $600,000 on the high side right now.
So then, do we know now with some of the shaved off amounts what that figure is more at like? Are we looking now at 400,000? Or are we looking at 500,000?
So I'll tell you, Joe, I haven't re-punched those numbers. I don't think Chris has either yet.
It's I mean, it's probably shy of 400,000, 450,000.
So 450,000, we could have our 2 officers and a reserve, our own police department, versus 1 deputy sheriff and a local agreement for 334. Okay, I just wanted to get the figures out there.
Yeah.
No, and again, that's what residents need to know is that again, if we contract through the county, it's 3/4 of the cost of having our own.
Yeah.
So.
But that was an option that he did tell us about that we could do.
Yep.
You know, wrong out. But again, it's 40 hours a week.
And once again, what if we call them tomorrow and go, yes, this is what we want to do. We want middle of the road officer. It could be 6 months before they get us one until they hire somebody to replace them.
Yeah.
So they have to hire somebody else before they'll give us ours. And just for gee-whiz facts, Skinner was saying he has the same amount of cops right now as he had 10 years ago. Collin County is not increasing his man as much. So
They're way short.
Is that all our updates?
Try to keep it short.
Don't have to keep short, there's something you need to explain.
You have any questions? Anyone else got any questions?
I think that was it.
No questions? Come on, Joe, give me one.
No, I already asked you. Yeah, the price comparison, yeah. I had questions.
Okay, so now that that's out of the way, we're in adjournment at 9:22.
Point of order, you don't need to move to adjourn, it just adjourn?
Yeah, you're supposed to. Yeah, you're supposed to.
Since you're gonna wanna do it right and everything, just say it.
But I think it's under still resolution. Cool.
Yeah, that's when I said we needed to look at the way it's done.
Any discussion about adjourning? No.
All in favor, say bye.
Wait, Joe's got a question.
Yeah, are we sure it's 9:22? That clock is a little bit ahead. Ah, see, still have questions.
Yeah, I stand corrected at 9:21. That time would have been.
Mine said 9:21.
You're welcome.
It's okay.
I can have a question for everything.
Or I dominate T closer.
Always ask why.